Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Curve-Unplugged. This is Perla Celeste Styles. And today I have David Moko Jumbie James. And before I got on, I got a little mini lesson into what Moko Jumbie is, so I don't feel so bad. Do you want to tell us, just in case anybody has like a question of how you came up with your name? And first of all, who he is a phenomenal artist that I've been following for at least, I want to say 4 years. I don't know how long you've been in the internet, but that's as long as I followed your work. Um, and I'm just excited to have him here. He draws beautiful plus size bodies. And so, since I've seen myself reflected in the images he creates, I wanted to finally have a chance to talk to him. So, let's start with Moko Jumbie and how you got the name.
Okay. Well, first of all, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure. This is my first interview of this.
I've been wanting to do it since the radio. Remember, I've been asking you at least a year ago. I told you I wanted to interview you if you ever came to Miami. So I'm excited that we have this new
it's kind of far from Miami. I'm here in Jersey, so it's a little, kind of far to get to. But I'm here now, right?
Yes, thank you very much.
So to answer your question about Moko Jumbie, it's actually a stilt walker. It's a Caribbean term, I think West African / Caribbean term, meaning those, if you see a carnival and you see these people on stilts walking around with, all the fancy colors and stuff like that. That's where I got the name from.
Okay, so that's what they are.
Yes.
So, people walking in the stilts.
Exactly.
Those are Moko Jumbies. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I want to pull up a couple of pictures that I've screenshotted of your work. This one was one of the first ones I ever posted on one of my pages.
Oh, okay.
I think it was just Facebook. She's like, fire.
Yes.
Oh, my nails are not pretty. Sorry, guys. Okay. Now this girl was one that prompted me one day to ask you, are you a chest man or a rear man? Because I felt like you were drawing way too many of those. That's really one of my favorites. This young lady over here.
You see, so it changes. It's not only about the big top.
And images of any couples together is definitely on top of my list. So one thing I wanted to ask you, I saw that last year you went to the Full Fashion Week in New York, which is dedicated and showing all the love to the plus size woman. So how was that experience?
Well, funny you should mention that because that was an interesting day. Unfortunately, I didn't actually get to make it.
Oh, okay.
I was in a car accident on the way to the event. Yeah, it totaled my car.
All the sort of flyers with your.
Yeah, the flyers, and my car was packed. I was getting ready to head to New York to set up, but on the way there, so I got rear-ended, and yeah, it didn't happen.
Man. Mm-hmm. Oh my goodness! I'm so sorry to hear that. I was so excited to hear this story. I imagined so many. Have you been invited back, or because it's coming up?
It's coming up. I haven't been invited yet, but
I think you need to go ask Gwen and get yourself invited. Go write Gwen and tell her, hey, I want to be back.
Well, it was put forward right after it happened. So we understand that these things happen, and if you want to come next year, it's fine. So so stay tuned. We'll see.
Yes. That's right. That is funny. So, I see you draw a lot of plus size women, right?
Yes.
So, what do you aim to say, like, with your work? Like, why us? Why us plus size women only? Like, what do you tell me?
I guess it's because it's honestly what I'm attracted to. I've liked plus size women since I was maybe not yay tall, but yay tall. And it's
hi Donna.
Oh,
I was saying hi to one of the guests.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess it's something that I like, and I like drawing the female figure, and so
The
just
female
put
figure,
the two
right?
together.
Right. Okay. So are you? So are you? I mean, for the most part, I see that you're promoting us in a positive way,
Mm-hmm.
like images being at the beach, which are one of my favorite scenes because I go to the beach a lot. Just doing the average thing, the average woman. Now, is it plus size women in your family? Do you remember the first woman that you kind of looked at and said, I like that. I'm like wonder where did it start at
Hmm.
least?
All right, that's a very good question. Where did it start? You know what? It's funny because as a little kid, I wasn't, they have some people that say, oh, when I was a little kid, I always knew that I love plus size women. But for me, that wasn't necessarily the case. Like early teens and even mid teens, I was, more typical average size woman. But then I guess my first girlfriend was, on the thicker side, and then it just kind of went on and up from there. I kind of realized, this is some niceness right
Okay. Now, if people would commission you to do work for them, do you say I don't draw thin women, or you're not turning down any work?
Well, when it comes to commissions right now, because of other commitments being, the day job and what have you, I'm really not doing commissions. But if somebody who wasn't plus size came up to me and said, and I had the time to do it, said, oh, you know what, I wouldn't have an issue doing that. Anybody could, I don't have any sort of, I don't discriminate against slim people when it comes to commissions.
Now, does it have to do just the whole love of it? Is like I see images that are like maybe more. Were you born in the United States? Like I see more Caribbean work from you.
Well, I was actually born here, but I moved to Trinidad when I was about 4 or 5, and I came back up here.
Oh, wow. That's backwards.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, so I mean, it happens every once in a while. Not often, but I know a couple of people that have, done the same thing. So, so I grew up as a teenager in Trinidad. I came up here to go to school when I think I came up when I was 19, and I've been up here ever since. I'm living in Newark, New Jersey.
Oh, okay. I have one of my guests that are saying, paint me. I'll send you her link. So it's Shaka, or you can find her. She wants to be painted. Shaka, do you have any questions for him while I have him here? Write me and I'll read it out to him. Now, you went to college and you went for graphic designing, right? Because that is what your work is.
Yes. Well, actually, I went to
explain that, how you even create your pieces, because you're not brush stroking, correct?
Right. Well, first let me start off with the going to school. I went to school. Yes. I actually started going to school for computer engineering, believe it or not. But then I had an epiphany in the middle, and I said, you know what, this isn't necessarily what I want to do. It's interesting, but I want to, tap into my artistic side. So I switched majors and I went to Rutgers, Newark, and I have a degree in art with a concentration in graphic design. So my day job is a graphic designer. So
which means your process of your art is your first drawing the image, right?
Well, that's actually talking about my my methodology when it comes to the art. So as far as that goes, something that people might not realize is that all my work is digital. In other words, it's done on the computer. It might not always start off on the computer, but it usually ends up on the computer. So, for example, let's say my ideas first come out in the sketch. So it might be, say, something like this, and it might be a little, it's going to be a bit of an explicit drawing here. So I hope it's not an issue.
Okay, go ahead.
It's still, so it might start off as a sketch. This is a old sketch that I had.
It's okay.
Okay. Scan it in the computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I take my stylus, which is almost like a screen that you could draw on. Well, it is a screen that you could draw on, and it's, if you push hard on it, it has a big stroke. If you lightly sketch on it, it's a smaller stroke, like a pencil or a brush. And after a long time, you get one of these. That same picture that I showed ends up looking like this.
Right.
So
okay, that's the same exact one.
That's the same one. It's I think it might be mirror image, maybe, but
okay.
Yeah, it started off as the sketch.
Understood. Okay, I got it.
And it ends up like this. And so I usually use Photoshop. Is my people use it for altering images, but what people don't realize is that you could use it for all sorts of things, like this, for example. So yeah. So and but right now, nowadays I'm using. I'm sorry, say that again.
Were you going to show us something?
I was going to, let me see. So, I mean, I have some of the other pieces, and if people who might not be familiar with my work, for example, it's not always plus size woman. Sometimes it is.
Yeah, show us a few.
Things like this.
Okay.
But not only do I do it digitally, it's easy to have it reproduced. So, for example, I have this one here, which is,
the picture that I just had. Yes.
Right, the picture. So, and you see it's, I send it off to get printed. It's a nice frame and stuff like that. So
that you have a pricing on that one?
This one, well, I sell prints. I have a website that I could share, mokojumbie.net/shop, and I have prints of all my artwork, or most of my artwork on there. So if you're interested, they could go ahead and check it out.
Absolutely. Let me see if I could type it in here. Maybe not, but I will make sure that we'll put it when we post it. Okay. Now, let me ask you, do you have a favorite piece?
Ah, boy.
I have my favorite pieces of yours, but I actually didn't screenshot those. But go ahead.
It's hard. It's like choosing your favorite child. I guess I could be glib and say, oh, my favorite piece is my latest piece, which probably isn't true, but
it's usually your newest love, right? Like that's my newest love.
Sometimes I could show you some of my favorites. Would be the same one that I just showed of the the woman in the jeans. This one, yes, that's definitely one of my favorites. Really nice.
Now that one looks like somebody. That looks like you must have seen her crossing the street, and you drew her, because some of these look real, like really realistic. Like it's somebody you're looking at.
Yes, I will say that.
Persons you had, neighbors, people you saw walking the street.
Sometimes it's most often actually it's stuff that I see online. In particular, that picture, it's usually some aspect about a picture that I see that causes me to do something. So, believe it or not, the same picture that I showed, the same one, I'll keep on bringing it up, right? Yes. What really caught my eye in the original picture, I don't even know if I could find the original picture. I might be able to. Right. Is, strangely enough, the jeans, the way how the jeans fit.
Yes.
That's what caused it. So if you would have, but it's still, different enough from the original picture that it's not to say it's a copy, but you could say, oh, this is where he got the inspiration from. So
Okay. Okay. That's one of my favorite pieces, see, because it depicts a body like mine. Now, one of the ones that I like of yours is it's called Jezra, and I love it that you. I mean, I guess most people name their pieces, right? You're supposed to.
Yes, that one actually.
Well, let me tell you, Jezra has a blue dress.
Mm-hmm.
It's an ocean scene, and it's a beach moonlight scene, and she has a moon in the back of her, and she's sort of laying sideways. I actually have that in one of my pages. That's like my backdrop.
Okay.
I've had it there for like 2 years.
Oh. So that's an interesting story. I don't know, and let me pull it up here on my pad. You're talking about this one, correct?
Yes.
Right. Now that's actually, and this is something I don't do that often, is that's actually almost a direct copy of a picture that I saw. I don't know if you're familiar with the she's a plus size model, Jezra. I don't know.
I'm not. It's not coming to me, the name. How do you spell her name?
I think it's Jezra.
Okay.
She's based in New York. I think she's Caribbean heritage.
Okay, so that's why you named the painting after her and something
right,
after her.
Because it was inspired by some picture that she took. And she's one of those people, especially if you're into plus size fashion and whatnot. If you see a picture of her, you're like, oh, her. Because at least I would assume that's the case. Because I've definitely seen her around in lots of photos and stuff like that. So
okay, well, I definitely feel like I've seen her before, but in a painting. So now I'm gonna definitely find Jezra because that was your muse.
Right. Yep.
Okay, well, I love that piece. And the other one is the dread girl in the beach with the dreads, and she's like laying back.
Okay.
That's one of my. I guess I love beach scenes. You know, I go to the beach a lot.
So that one, I wonder if I could.
You have that one? You can find that one for us.
I might have it. I'll have to look for it a second. But as I'm talking, that one actually has a interesting story in that it started off as a totally different sketch, and it was a contest. It was the winner of a contest that I had on my newsletter, which you could get at mokojumbie.net. You'll see a pop-up, sign up for the newsletter if you haven't. And I had some old sketches. I do lots of sketches, most of which don't end up as pieces, but I had 3 different pieces, half done. And I had people who subscribed to my newsletter pick one. And so that was the one that won. So I took it, I finished it, and that was the picture that you had. Let me see if I could find it.
I have one of my guests saying that they love your accent. Oh. I love it too, actually.
Thank you.
It's nice. I didn't even realize to expect that accent.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe like Jersey boy or something.
I get that all the time. So, is it this one you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. Closer. Yes.
It's a picture of a picture.
So, there we go. Yeah.
That's why it's like off angle and what have you. So.
That is my favorite. Okay. Let me see here. Did I ask you everything I wanted to ask you? Okay. Are you in any local fairs? Do you have an art gallery? A studio?
Unfortunately, no. I haven't done anything local in a minute, and a lot of my stuff is virtual online. So that would be the best way if somebody's looking to buy a piece or find out more about me, is to go on the website. A little bit.
Okay. But I see that you had an exposition somewhere at some point.
I've had
my years of following you, your work.
I've had a few exhibitions. Part of not a solo I was going to say expedition, a solo exhibition. I haven't had any of those, but it's something that I've toyed off and on about doing, but it takes a lot of work and a lot of planning. And unfortunately, these days, with the main job, with the graphic design work, it's hard to really chunk out that amount of time, and it costs a lot to get all the stuff printed and renting venues and so on and so forth. So my plan was to do one this year. I'm sorry?
A studio? Where do you work? Well, I know that you do it from the computer, but a studio where you like showing your own thing?
Usually no. It's I guess that's one of the good or bad things about this type of work. It's easy to find a corner in a room and do the work, especially since I have my iPad. I could do stuff like that. But
right.
I mean, that's both good and bad, but it makes it easy to be like, oh, I don't really need to get out there. I don't really need to do this and do that. So
you had another piece there, no? You had another piece that you were going to show us?
Yes, it might be kind of glary. There might be some kind of glare, but let's see how.
Because it has glass.
Right, because it has glass. This is one of my now you're gonna see the whole screen of.
There you go. Yes.
So I don't know if you see that well.
It's a couple, and the man is hugging the woman from the back, and she has a piece of a necklace with the African continent.
Right.
It's gorgeous.
So.
And they just came home from a party, and he's taking off her dress. Right.
Now, this one is a. Let me make sure that doesn't fall. Okay, so that one is an interesting. They all have interesting stories. That one was actually almost a commission. That was something I was doing for a book cover for a client of mine. I hadn't gotten all the way there. I hadn't finished it, but the client wanted to go in a different direction. So that one was kind of put on the wayside. And I said, you know what, the beginning of this is good enough to stand on its own. So I went in and I, finished it.
I love that.
And this is something that got heavy inspiration from a picture that I saw online. But, I made it. It was like the couple had the same sort of pose, but it was, a white couple, and, the dress was different and something like that. So I kind of.
So yeah, it definitely would work for anyone.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Right. That's gorgeous. That's gorgeous. And did you like my story that I just came up with? That they just came home from a party. They had a few drinks, and he's ready to like, hey baby. Now, is it me or all your pieces sexually persuasive? Suggestive. I don't know, Nikki, if you're speaking to me or to him, but we'll definitely post some of his pictures.
Oh.
Actually, he's asking, can you post the art, or is it posted already? I don't know. I guess she's talking to me. Oh. Well, we definitely will post a collage or something of his work. Definitely, when I finish, I'll put some.
Yeah, I could
answer the sexually suggestive.
People tell me that all the time. I will admit some of it is, maybe more than some of it, not all of it, but. I like to think of it as being a bit more sensual, a lot more adult, because, okay, I'm not sure if you're familiar with a lot of BBW art that's around. A lot of it is sexualized, unfortunately, to the point of it fetishizing it a little bit. And I kind of wanted to get away from that. I wanted to try and show sensuality. I wanted to try to show two adults who obviously love each other and not just, oh, let me see how big I can make her butt and, stuff like that. So I try to show maybe, although there are one or two that, pretty much they're doing it. But
right, there's a bed scene, right? With the guy's like bald or something. That's what I see.
Yeah.
I show a bald guy.
That is probably one of my most.
We're gonna end with that. We are gonna end with that. Find that picture. I love that picture.
Oh boy.
And literally, when I found your
Well,
page, I think it was Facebook. It has a lot. I'm just like,
now, there's a couple with there's a couple
pairs of
explicit ones
couples
I can
as
show.
couples.
I'm sorry, say that again.
Couples as couples. Yeah.
A couple with couples that are in some interesting positions. You know, you showed.
Okay. Did I mention that it should be an 18 over show? All you 18 and under, please exit the room now.
Right.
I think we can see. We can look at it.
Okay, good. So, well, this one is. I think. Did you show this one? I think this.
Yes,
This is more of the sensual sort of thing that I wanted to show, but the one that you're probably talking about is it this one? Or is this another one?
That's one. The other one.
There might be many. Okay, that's actually I think they're on the floor. Is that what you're talking about? Are you talking
Why
about?
are you leaving? I have a guess that's saying that's the one that I love. Look at that one, Nikki. Don't leave, Nikki. Look at that one. You need to center it. We need to look at it long and hard. The woman's okay. Yes, that is a gorgeous picture.
I can't take full credit for this. If you look online somewhere, you might see a real picture, a real photograph of somebody looking kind of like in this same kind of pose. So I got inspiration.
So you were inspired by something. That's fine. So. That's what happens. That's what happens. David, thank you so very much. I'm so happy you came and talked to me today. Well, us.
Thank you.
Okay, Mickey, okay. Huh? Absolutely. And I want to see you again. I'm going to let you accumulate some more work. And if you want Shaka or I to be your muse, or even Nikki, okay, we are here. Well, I'll throw a couple of pictures you can get inspired by.
Okay.
Now, Moko Jumbie, that's MOKOJUMBI.com.
BIE.net.
BIE.net. Okay, let me do that again. MOKOJUMBIE.net.
Correct. Yep.
Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night. Bye-bye.
So long.
So long.